Welcome back again for another take. Now this is a complete chapter and we'll discuss the editing on the complete chapter. Have you ever played splash rocks? If you throw a rock into a calm surface of water, so if you throw a rock into a calm surface of water cannot be A. So you cannot throw a rock into a calm surface. It's a surface. So throw a small rock. So describe what type of rock it is into calm water, just calm water. Okay, surface is not necessary. It pushes water away with a ripple that also moves away. Wrong sentence. It forces. It doesn't push water away. It forces. It creates a force. It forces the water away, creating small ripples, not with only one ripple. It doesn't create with one ripple. Creating with a ripple is wrong. It forces the water away, creating small ripples that radiates from the impact. You need to know your words if you're taking complicated sentences. That radiates from the impact. Throwing a bigger rock makes water rushing back with more energy, creating more ripples. Wrong sentence. Throwing a bigger rock causes the water. It doesn't make the water do anything. It causes the water to change. Causes the water to rush back. Rushing back. Doesn't redundant. To rush back, creating a bigger splash, comma, and bigger ripples. Creating more ripples with bigger splash. Now, it doesn't create many ripples. Okay, creating a bigger splash and bigger ripples. So obviously it creates many ripples. They'll be bigger ripples, much more impactful. Throwing a bigger rock causes, not moves, causes the water to rush back, not rushing back, to rush back with more energy, creating not more ripples with bigger splash, with a bigger splash and comma and bigger ripples. Simple. If you throw a stick into the water instead of a rock, it will create straight ripples on the sides but round ripples on the ends. Completely wrong. However, if you throw a stick into the water instead of a rock, not necessary to give because you just discussed rock, it's a continuous sentence. If you throw a stick into the water, it creates it. We are not talking about future up until now. So why do you put future tense? It creates straight ripples on its sides, comma, but round ripples near its ends. So we're talking about the stick and everything is happening around the stick, right? So it creates straight ripples, again, not one ripple, multiple ripples. One straight ripples on its sides, but round ripples near its ends. Focus. The speed of these ripples, the speed of ripples is the speed of ripples. There's nothing called speed of ripples. The speed of these ripples being formed are different, and so the ripples from the middle. What did I write? The ripples from the middle catches with ripples. So ripples from the middle catches with ripples near the ends. Wrong. So don't forget about your articles. The ripples from the middle meet with the ripples near the ends. Beautiful. Not catch up. Meet with. Okay. Forming larger round ripples again far away from the impact. Why is again is happening? It's just happening once. Larger ripples far from the impact. So the sentence is now the speed of these ripples being formed are different, and so the ripples from the middle meet with the ripples near the ends, forming large round ripples far from the impact. The ripples are happening far from the impact. Again, far away from the impact is a stupid line, not again and away. This confirms a fundamental principle in physics, suggesting everything seeks a state where energy is less enthusiastic. Let's make it easy. It visualizes a fundamental principle in physics, and that principle is That suggests, not suggesting, that suggests everything seeks a state in which energy is less enthusiastic, not where. A state where energy is less enthusiastic. Now, in which, okay. So these are standard uses: in which, and then, that. So you have to follow those rules. In which energies. Interestingly, this is analogous and also resembles, so also not necessary. And itself talks about also. And resembles investor's pursuit of. So always cut off repeated words. While it is an interesting analogy allowing us to imagine contagion formation in the same way as ripples are formed, uh, complicated sentence. While this analogy allows us to imagine how contagion might form, simple. So, not contagion forming in the same way as ripples as formed, not necessarily. How contagion might form, easy. It follows, it follows a surface must be present, allowing it to encapsulate a tension as the rock touches the surface. It follows that. So now we are talking about sentence following sentences. Okay, it follows that a surface must be present with tensions to resist the rock touching the surface. Um, so with tension to resist, encapsulated tension is too much. With is already there. It doesn't have encapsulated tension. There is always tension in a surface. With tension to resist uh, the rock touching the surface. Let us try and imagine how a spider builds a web. A gentle breeze helps the spider anchoring the first thread across a gap, allowing the spider to tighten the first strand, crawling back and forth while weaving more threads out. Bad sentence. A gentle breeze helps the spider. Where is the breeze? Through the gap. The breeze is happening through the gap. A gentle breeze through the gap helps the spider to anchor. So avoid all kind of ing wherever you can. Okay, to anchor the first thread. So across a gap, the position of the words are wrong. So we took it forward through the gap, the first thread, comma, after which the spider can tighten the first strand. It doesn't allow the spider, this is make it active verb. The spider is um, tightening the strand, right? After the spider can tighten the first strand by crawling back and forth while weaving more threads, laying more threads out. Bad sentence. Weaving more threads. Okay. After which, so gentle breeze through a gap helps the spider to anchor, not anchoring. The first thread, comma, after which, another sentence, after which the spider can tighten the first strand. How? By crawling back and forth while weaving more threads. Dropping from the center of this line, the spider weaves a Y-shaped netting, allowing it to form a strong structure on which the spider continues to build radials. Very bad sentence. Dropping from the center on this vertical line, comma, give it break. The spider is a Y-shaped web, not netting allowing it, just a web. Y-shaped web to form a strong structure on which the spider continues to build. We're talking about spider from very beginning. On which to continue weaving radials. To continue weaving radials. Okay. So we cut off to the spider continues to build. It's a repeated thing. Knitting, allowing it is not knitting, is web. Okay. So the spider web to continue weaving radials. That's it. On this radials, the spider lays out spirals working from inside outside. Okay. Inward, the spider keeps replacing temporary spirals with permanent spirals. These permanent spirals run to the center from the peripheries and the distance between spirals are minimized. So now we connect two sentences. Working from inside outward and outside inward, the spiders keep replacing temporary spirals with permanent spirals that, we don't need any commas before that, spirals that run These permanent spiders run to the center. So again repeating, not necessary. That run to the center from the peripheries, comma, and the distance are minimized. No, let's make it a verb. That run to the center from the peripheries, minimizing the distance between spirals. Simple and easy. Two sentences turned into one. Okay. Let's not repeat anything. An insect entangled in the web would send out vibrations similar to ripples in water. In much the same way as water-dwelling spiders rely on vibration it can pick up, sent by an insect uh, fallen on water and ensnared by surface tension. Not a very nice sentence. Entangled in the send out vibrations similar to ripples on water. Fine. In much the same way, fine, as water-dwelling spiders pick up the vibration. Rely on vibrations it can pick up, not necessarily pick up the vibrations sent by an insect. No, of fallen insects. Vibrations of fallen insects. Okay, so obviously it has fallen on water, sending vibrations. Pick up vibrations of fallen insects ensnared by its surface tension on water and ensnared by the water's surface tension, by its surface tension. The spider is a perfect analogy. System increases the risk underlying, and it only continues to amplify. It only continues to, not necessary. It amplifies. Okay. What is more uncanny is that is modern network analysis. What is uncannier is that modern network analysis resemble the patterns built into a spider's web. No, patterns of a spider's web. Fine. Capital flies and the cross-holding, the gaps. These are easy things. Fine. Okay. For contagion to materialize, a crucial precept involves vulnerability, implicit in system conditions. A crucial precept, again, wrong placement of the words. A crucial condition for contagion to materialize involves the vulnerability. Simple. So let's not break it into small Legos. For contagion to materialize, a crucial precept, comma, comma. It seems like comma, comma. Not necessary. A crucial condition for the contagion to materialize. Two sentences turn into one. This is because. It is because, not it. This is because. Please provide a reference for this. Okay, fine. This is because even a small shock, turn widespread, comma, entangle in a way in much, becoming entangled. Entangled is always becoming something. Something becomes entangled in a web, not in that web. That web is not special. It's not a country. Resemble, despite these, despite on water surface, despite systemic risk and contagion guide steer two different tenets of studies. No, despite this whole situation, despite this systemic risk and contagion steer to different tenets is not correct. Systemic risk and contagion guide, not steer, guide two different tenets. We even needed, even we had to present, even we had to bad use. We even needed to present. Again, these also causes. So using these is fine. In the heightening of globalization comes an increased flow of capital, bad use of words. With the heightening of global, not in the heightening. We cannot go inside heightening. Heightening is happening. So with the heightening of globalization comes, not comes about, this phrase is not important, comes an increased flow of capital. Financial spanning countries of many countries. The financial sector spanning countries of many sizes. Not necessary word. The financial sectors of countries of many sizes. Instead of using spanning, just simple of. And capacities. So participating financial markets are driven by the purpose of credit growth. Institutions are driven by the purpose of credit growth, the ever-increasing interdependencies drawing. So, driven by credit growth, the purpose of doesn't fit. Just cut it off. simple and easy. Driven by credit growth. Make it simpler every time you revise. However, the core peripheries of a web spawned from financial sector. Of these web, there's a condition here. It's not a common thing. Of these webs spawned from the financial sector. With each occurrences, this is an introductory phrase. It needs to be followed by a comma. With these occurrences, there are potential alterations in the position of the core peripheries. There is, how did you put is? There are alterations, making it more challenging to track potential sources, making it increasingly challenging, more impactful, okay, increasingly challenging. Thus, next shot, thus, it is of no surprise. So if you're using it should follow thus. It should be preceded by thus. A disproportionate size of financial participants wielding these networks, making the position of global market untenable. Bad word. Sector participants within these networks, not wielding, within these networks, cause the markets to be untenable. Cause it to be untenable. Making untenable not nice. In just the last 2 decades, in just over the last 2 decades, the whole thing can be 20 years. In just 20 years, have experienced over 30 widespread crisis stunting growth and employment, among others. Among others is placed wrongly. Have experienced over 30 widespread crisis stunting, comma, among other things, growth and employment. Okay, it should come before the end of the sentence. Among other things, please provide, okay, this many newer means of facilitating higher risk and the potential for near contagion is mired deep into the system, and the potential for near contagion is mired deep. No, brings about near means of facilitating, near means facilitating higher systemic risk. No, near means of facilitating higher systemic risk and the potential for contagion is mired deep, wrong. To be mired deep into the system. Means of should follow means of facilitating. Mild should be preceded by to be mired deep into the system. Okay, the potential. What is more, not necessarily moreover. Fine. Hence, this realm poses ever-growing challenge. No, this domain poses an ever-growing challenge. Moreover, what is more, not among other things. Fine. The newly emerging crisis are spurring research. Okay, my charge is